Greetings, everyone. This is Rock Spot Connection with another summer of building the team, and we got something of a perhaps a first, or at least an odd occasion. Um, I only built one team. So, first off, last week's build, 300 point modern. We went with the Wakanda team. Did not do great. Didn't do terribly, but didn't do great. I think a large problem with that team is the Dora Milaje's lack of no, not Dora Milaje, the Midnight Angels lack Dora Milaje Midnight Angels lack of move and attack, at least starting. Also, I kind of forgot about the roll 10 portions of all of each of the Infinity Gems. And those could have come in handy, and those actually would have come up at least once, or at least some of them would have, but I forgot it. Anywho, this upcoming week's build, 500 points, Battle on the High Seas. The basic idea is either Atlantis teams or pirate teams. So, as I don't really have that many pirates, we're going with Atlantis team. So, starting things off, we've got Dolphin. This is actually, I think, the same team Atlantis team I built for the Must Mix Universe that a few weeks ago. But anyways, Dolphin comes in at 30 points. She's got the Atlantis and Forgotten Heroes keywords, as well as the trait Triggered Mutation. As a free action, turn Dolphin's dial to the same click number of a different color. That comes in handy as she has, well, that's what her dial looks like. You note the KO there on KOs on click 4? Basically, that's to say, hey, you got one or two choices. So, her initial dial, you got 3 clicks of sidestep, 3 clicks of incapacitate, 3 clicks of super senses, a click of shape change, and 2 clicks of empower. The other one, which is actually much more offensive. This first one is pretty good for defensive purposes. You've got super senses, you've got shape change, you've got incapacitate. You know, not a bad mix of powers, really. So we start off on the other dial with the special speed power on the run from authorities, which grants Dolphin charge or plasticity. And when she uses charge, she occupies water terrain. She does not have her speed. Okay, that means if I can keep hold of the card, she can on her the first click of her first blue click. She can charge in for a total of 10 squares. A 10 move charge. Oof, yeah. Then she's got a couple clicks on attack. She has a couple clicks of Blaze Claw's Fangs, followed by a click of Precision Strike. On defense, we open up with a click of Invulnerability, followed by a couple clicks of Toughness. And on damage, we got 3 clicks of Battle Fury. So she can ignore Shape Change, she can't be carried, and she can't make range attacks, which is fine because she does actually have a range value, but the basic idea of having her on the team is she's there to, you basically set her on that charge, and then have her go in, run in and make an alpha strike right quick. She's a sacrificial lamb. Chances are she's gonna die the following turn after you charge her in and make your attack. But best case scenario, you KO something. Worst case scenario, Well, you're out 30 points. Next up, we've got Aqualad. Aqualad comes in at 50 points. He's got the Titans team ability as well as the Atlantis and Teen Titans keywords, as well as 2 traits. First off, we have Titans Reborn. When Aqualad is given a move action after resolutions, he can use the Titans team ability at no cost, which is good because there is someone else on the team with the Titans team ability. We'll get to him later. Next trait is Working on my Electrokinesis. Energy explosion with 6 range and 3 targets, but only once per game. Okay. Looking at his dial, we open up with a few clicks of Charge, followed by a few clicks of Flurry. We have one on attack. We open up with a click of Telekinesis, while the rest of the dial is Blaze Claw's Fangs. On defense, we open up with Inertial Deflection, followed by, and the rest of the dial is Combat Reflexes. It's not too shabby. Honestly, Aqualad and Dolphin could actually make for a very good team when it comes to spacing, especially if you end up going second. Let your opponent set their figures up, then have Aqualad use Telekinesis to place Dolphin out 6 squares. And then you turn Dolphin to her attack clicks, her first attack click, and charge for 10 with charge in for from 10 squares away with 11 attack blades. Not too shabby in the slightest. It's not a surefire thing, and like I said, you're probably still sacrificing Dolphin, but there are worse ways to go about it. Next up, we've got Namorita. Namorita comes in at 60 points. She has the Atlantis, Defenders, New Warriors, and Celebrity keywords, as well as the trait Octopoid Camouflage. Namorita can use Stealth. She can use Shapeshift if she's adjacent to a wall or square of blocking terrain. Okay. Looking at her dial, we open up with some Sidestep, which gives way to some Charge. On attack, we open up with the special power Acidic Touch. When Namorita hits an adjacent opposing character that can use Impervious, Invincible, or Invulnerability, this turn that character can't use that power but can use Toughness instead. Okay. That then gives way to Super Strength. On defense, we open up with Toughness, which then gives way to Combat Reflexes. And then on damage, she opens up with nothing, but clicks into Close Combat Expert. And next up, we've got Tempest. You remember how I mentioned there was another figure on the team with the Titans team ability as well as the Titans Reborn trait? Well, here we go. Tempest comes in at 75 points, has the Titans team ability as well as Atlantis, Teen Titans, and Mystical keywords. Aside from the Titans Reborn trait, he has another trait, Water Wizard. Freeze it or boil it. He can use Smoke Cloud as a free action, but he generates water markers instead of hindering markers. As a free action, choose an opposing character occupying water terrain within range and roll a d6. On a 3 or a 4, give that character an action token. On a 5 or a 6, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. Okay, alright. Looking at the dial, we open up with a couple clicks of Charge, followed by a few clicks of Sidestep? No, Leap Climb, followed by a couple clicks of Smoke Cloud, or Force Blast. Force Blast. He's got Smoke Cloud on the trait. Then on attack, we've got a couple clicks of Super Strength at the top of the dial, and that's it. On defense, we open up with a couple clicks of Toughness, followed by a couple clicks of Super Senses, followed by a couple clicks of Regeneration. Now, one interesting point to make here is near the end of his dial, his defense goes up for 2 clicks by 1 for 2 clicks, and then back down. But it's not. He starts off with a 17, picks up an 18 late dial, and back to a 17. So honestly, not too shabby. Then on attack, or on damage, we open up with Perplex, which gives way to Empower, which then at the end gives way to Leadership. Alright. Next up, we've got Namor. That is totally a perfect Namor sculpt. There are two perfect ways to portray Namor. One is as a fighter. And there are plenty of sculpts that actually do that very well, pulling off the, hey, look, Namor's a badass and he's gonna punch you in the face. There's also the arrogance of the fact that he is the king of Atlantis. And his domain basically covers most of the world. So yeah, he tends to be a bit on the arrogant side. Anywho, Namor comes in at 110 points. He's got the anti-registration, Atlantis, Defenders, Illuminati, and Ruler keywords. We've got a trait, King of Atlantis. Other friendly characters with the Atlantis keyword modify their attack value by +1. Namor can use Leadership. Okay. Looking at the dial, we open up with Sidestep, which gives way to Charge. On attack, we open up with the special power Imperious Rex. Give Namor a power action to place adjacent an Atlantean Warrior Bystander, or give Namor a double power action to place adjacent 2 Atlantean Warrior Bystanders. You may not use this power if there are more than 4 Atlantean Warrior Bystanders on your force. Okay. The Atlantean Warrior ones have Charge, Combat Reflexes, Close Combat Expert, as well as the trait Warrior of Atlantis, giving them the Atlantis keyword, and Autonomous, so their move actions don't count against your action total. Or, well, I don't think that qualifies. I think that's just half of Autonomous. Autonomous works as a means of basically saying a character with Autonomous is not, their actions don't count towards your action total. Not just move actions. Anywho. Imperious Rex gives way to Super Strength. On defense, he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. Starts off with Vulnerability, which gives way to Toughness, which then gives way to Regeneration. Finally, on damage, we open up with Close Combat Expert, which gives way to Empower. And last but certainly not least, we have another King of the Seven Seas, Aquaman. Aquaman comes in at 172 points. He's got the Atlantis, Justice League, and Ruler keywords, as well as improved targeting ignores hindering terrain, so stealth is no big deal to him. He's also an aquatic transporter, meaning that he can carry a friendly character, and he can use the move and attack ability. However, he also has running shot and charge, so yeah. So we open up with running shot, which then gives way to sidestep, which then gives way to charge. On attack, we open up with the special power Trident of Neptune, Relic of Atlantis. At the beginning of your turn, choose one to last until you choose again. Aquaman can use Enhancement and Leadership, or Aquaman can use Energy Explosion, or Aquaman can use Penetrating Psychic Blast. If he's not tokened up, yeah, we're going with most likely Penetrating Psychic Blast. If he is tokened up, Enhancement and Leadership. Trident of Neptune, Relic of Atlantis gives way to Blaze Claw's Fangs. Defense, like Namor, he's also Indomitable. Starts off with Vulnerability, gives way to Toughness. Then he picks up Super Senses. And on damage, we open up with a special power, Subtle Telepathic Push. Once per turn, Aquaman can use it either Outwit or Perplex. When he does, he may target characters with the Dolphin or Dolphin Transporter symbol anywhere on the map. Oh boy. Subtle Telepathic Push then gives way to Close Combat Expert. So probably the best idea on what to do for turn one would be have Tempest and Aquaman perplex up Dolphin's attack. Then have Aqualad use telekinesis to then place her out 6. Then have her. Then before that, you then switch her over to her close combat clicks, and with the additional +1 attack from Namor, she'll have a 14 attack. So you rush in with that, you charge her with that 14 attack, and you quite likely end up with a pretty decent alpha strike. The only downside here is, of course, Blades is a crapshoot. Sure, you can deal 6 damage with it. Or you can deal, in her case, 1. So, alright, that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Also, a side note, I'm kind of thinking we're going to take a few weeks off from, I'm kind of thinking that Mutant Monday is going on hiatus for a little while. Due in part to my work schedule, I've been working a lot of Mondays, especially early Mondays, so, and also just because content, at the very least, at the very latest, we'll be back for Mutant Monday when the Monday after Wolverine #1 comes out. We'll be doing a deep dive on that one. Same with the first issue of the upcoming Cable series, the upcoming Hellions book, as well as the upcoming X Factor book. Anywho, that's all for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal will be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.